this isn't going to be easy. Like,
No.
I know that we all want the 31-7 win when you're up 17-0 and then it's 24-7 and you win 31-7. That ain't happening.
No.
The LA Rams are a good football team. They are. The LA Rams have good players. They do. Guess why? Because they're in the NFL playoffs. This isn't easy. The Lions are a 3-point favorite. The sports books are telling you these are pretty much coin toss teams on a neutral field. It's a coin toss. That's what they're saying.
Right.
But I, honest to God, think this, and this is wild. I had my epiphany last night, and it didn't cost me $50 at Tiffany's. So here's what it was, Lindsay. I do believe, because there's a lot of similarities, right? A lot of similarities in the teams. Both these teams have their units where they're strong. Certainly the receiving core for the Rams against the Lions secondary is advantage Rams. Certainly. Right. The Lions run defense against the Rams rushing attack, advantage Lions. I have a season's worth of data. Right. Matt Stafford did not win a game this year when the Rams didn't run for 100 yards. 0. Okay?
How many games did he play this year? He was out quite a few, wasn't he?
3 or 4, something like something like that. I forget the exact number. But Lindsay, there are advantages and there's punches and there's counter punches everywhere. And I swear to you, I believe in my heart 1,000% that on Sunday night at about 11:18, when the Lions have won the game, I honest to God think it will be because Dan Campbell flipped a possession here or a possession there. For real. Honest to God, that's not McVay's track record. It's not where he lives. It's where Dan Campbell lives, and it's what they do. And Lindsay, I do think that Dan Campbell over Sean McVay is an advantage for the Lions, which is going to be, you guys are going to go Spenny.
That's ridiculous.
No, Spenny.
Sean McVay is a much better coach than Dan.
No, not now.
He's got a Super Bowl, Neil. You can't say Dan Campbell is a better coach than Sean McVay.
He's better at clock management.
No,
he's better at possession management.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. The reason they're good, why? What is the reason the Lions are good now? What's one of the reasons?
Their offensive line in the running game.
Okay. And how have they taken advantage of that?
This is not a Sean McVay versus it's Ben Johnson and Sean McVay.
No. That is a matchup. That is a matchup. Spenny, will possession management and fourth down be a storyline? Is that a matchup in this game?
For sure.
Is it a pretty big matchup?
Yes, it is.
So therefore, you agree that it's a big matchup.
It is.
Who has a better feel for the pulse of that?
I would say Dan Campbell is more aggressive.
That was my
when he
point.
Goes after it. It's not
That's
like
my
Sean
point.
McVay loses or wins games because of his calls. I've never seen that, never heard that anywhere. You can't say Sean McVay is a worse coach than Dan Campbell. You cannot say that.
In the fourth down game, Dan Campbell has the edge.
Based on
it's
what?
proven.
Because he
based
gambles more?
Yes,
Because he
and
goes
is
for it
successful more, and that's how they win games, Spenny. They manage the clock. They steal extra possessions. That's how they do it, Spenny. That's part of the reason they do it. I know it's pretty granular, and it's not easy button. And you say, "Oh, he won a Super Bowl. He's a better coach." I know it's not. It's more granular.
Do you think Dan Campbell is a better coach than Sean McVay?
In fourth down situations, yes.
Okay. Well,
yes, I do.
The Rams have a 78.9% success rate on fourth down.
On how many attempts?
19. They're 15 of 19.
Okay, and the Lions?
I think it's like 50 something.
On how many attempts? And how many conversions? Yes. It's not about success rate, Spenny. It's about when you do it and how you control the games. That's what it is.
I wouldn't say. I'm not going to say Dan Campbell's a better coach than McVay.
I never said that.
What are you saying then?
In fourth down scenarios,
so
in terms of possession management and big moments.
So in a vacuum on fourth, I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm getting at.
He's more aggressive as a coach.
And he takes more chances.
Yes.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And that's part of the reason for the Lions' success. Look at the analytics of it. And Spenny, like when you talk about like conversion percentage and stuff like that, you got to go deeper into that and say how many of those possessions ended in touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like when because Maz was famous for this in the middle of the season when he would say, "Oh, you take the field goal here, you take the field goal there," and instead the Lions go for it twice, right? They go for it twice. They get stopped once. The next time they go, they get a touchdown. They end up with 7 points instead of 6. That's affecting the game.
In the NFL this year, the Rams are the 4th ranked team on fourth down, and the Lions are 15th.
in percentage.
Yes.
In percentage. Right, but see, you got to dig deeper than that, Spenny. Again, when you go for 4th and 7,
what are the Lions?
When you listen, Spenny, listen. When you go for it on 4th and 7 at the 31 and don't take the field goal and don't get it, okay? And we've seen them do that.
Yeah.
And don't get it. And then the next time you go for it on 4th and 3 at the 28 and you do get it. And that drive ends in a touchdown, it's a net positive. You have 7 points out of 2 possessions instead of 6. You do.
Yeah.
It's math.
All right.
That's my point. That's a 50% conversion percentage, right? Right?
Yeah.
But it's a net positive. Right?
I don't understand. Have you done the research and broken down both the Rams and the Lions?
I'm giving you the math on it right now, Spenny.
What odds the Lions have?
Well, the Rams are 78%. The Lions are 50%. The Rams are better. I just told you a 50% conversion percentage is a net positive of a point.
Okay, and so it doesn't count when the Rams are better at it? But because the Lions
Rams are 78, Lions are 50. Rams are better.
So you're saying the Rams don't get a touchdown every other one, but the Lions do? Is that the argument? I don't know.
No, I'm sure there's been instances where that's happened for the Rams, but over the course of the season for the Lions, we've seen it play out repeatedly, and that's part of the reason they're successful. And we've seen them do it in fourth quarters to continue drives and turn out the clock.
Yeah, Spenny, he's not saying Dan Campbell's a better overall coach than McVay. Just in a vacuum on fourth down.
He gambles more. He's more aggressive.
Right.
Yeah, I would agree with
Didn't
that.
we just get done saying, and you agreed with it, if you put Dan Campbell on that 2014 team, the Lions win that game?
Yeah.
That's my point. That's how playoff games work. They come down to that every time.
Okay, well, I'm just saying Sean McVay has proven it in the playoffs. Dan Campbell hasn't. Flat out.
Those are facts.
Okay, and then so we can go granular with that too. Well, Sean McVay won a Super Bowl. Well, yeah, because a pass hit a safety in the chest and he dropped it.
Okay.
If he catches it, they don't.
Yeah.
Like that's.
We don't know that.
What do you mean we don't know that?
We don't know that. If they catches it, we don't know that.
Well, the Rams don't have any timeouts left. We know that. We know that for certain.
Yeah, but they could have turned the ball over. They could have done something
okay,
else.
man.
Anything happens.
But that's my point, though.
It's just like the helmet catch with the Giants.
Yeah.
Funky things happen on the way to a Super Bowl. You know that.
Oh, 100%. Like, there are moments. The great UNLV team that beat Duke by 30 beat Ball State 69-67.
Exactly.
And got away with it. No, it happened. Like, I'm not saying that, though. You know, like, show me a champion, and I'll show you somewhere along the line where they caught a break.
Yeah,
yes,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Every single one of them.
Every sport,
every champion all the time, man.
That's why Flannel gets mad at Brady. He's the luckiest quarterback ever. It's because he's been in that situation repeatedly, so many times.
Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's my point on it.
But they only scored 13 points against the Rams in that one Super Bowl, though.
Yeah, but he still won.
13-3.
Yeah. It was the worst Super Bowl of all time. Yeah. That shit was embarrassing.
Jake Wagner. Dan Campbell hasn't coached in the playoffs, so you have no data, and a lack of evidence does not make evidence. So, Jake, you think he's magically... Lindsay, is he magically going to change what he does?
No, he's still going to be aggressive.
We've seen it. We saw that in Dallas on fourth down 4 times. He's not going to change.
Paul Thomas, we know the refs will give Stafford 2 pass interference calls in the end zone.
I don't know.
Yeah. Mike G, why are we yelling at each other, boys? We have a common enemy, and that's the Rams.
That's true. That is true.
Oh, Spenny loves Sean McVay. Thinks he's the greatest coach in the game.
I think he's a top 5 coach.
Thinks we should trade right now.
I think he's a top 5 coach.
Jameer gives Sean McVay. Jameer in a first-round pick for Sean McVay.
No.
Bring him home.
No. Well, Ben Johnson leaves maybe, but
bring him home. No, but that's Lindsay. Honest to God, that's the feeling I'm getting, is that this game is going to come down to the fourth quarter, because most of them do. Let's be honest.
Yep.
It's a 1-score league, and I think that the Lions will end up winning this game, because you win in this game on what you're good at, and ultimately when you lose by what you're bad at. Because we talked about that, like, show me a championship team, I'll show you a lucky break. Show me a team that's lost in any playoff in any sport. Show me a box score. Show me what they didn't do well during the season, and they usually coincide.
No doubt. No doubt. But I think it'll come down to the Lions' pass rush. I think how much pressure they can put on Stafford to get him off his spots. Don't let him sit in the pocket, because he's been hot. He's been extremely hot during the latter part of the season. So if they can disrupt him, then I think the Lions can control the game. That's the big thing for me. I want to see them put pressure on him. I don't want him to get any type of rhythm, because whether you like it or not, Stafford is a hell of a quarterback. You know, regardless of what he did here, whatever, I don't care. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and he's proven, and he's tough as nails.
Detroit Dabber 313. Spencer was the one who thought McVay was being better overall. Neil said Dan Campbell is an advantage with clock management.
Rewind the tape.
Why can't anyone follow that? I don't know, Dabber.
Rewind the tape. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. Well, he's right. Like that was our points.
The story will tell.
The ones says in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, aggressiveness does win games, and remember, we also have CD Deuce and Iffy in the backfield. But Young Jay is breaking news from Young Jay. Spencer wears a Rams jersey to bed. Is that the case?
That is not true.
Do you eat chunky soup because Sean McVay is the pitch man?
I like chunky soup, but not
I do
because
too.
of Sean McVay.
Yeah, I if anything, it made me not like it more.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I'm still gonna eat it.
I'm still gonna eat it. It's good stuff. It's a meal in a bowl.
It is, man.
They got some good flavors.
Double sirloin soup.
Yeah.
Tell me you're not messing with that.
Sure.
We're all messing with that.
Sure.
Now, granted, it's going to be about 6,000 milligrams of sodium.
Hey, it's worth it.
But it's worth it.
Yeah, piece of bread and butter, some double sirloin soup for sure.
Absolutely.